We will begin with Mr. Mathias. If you'll wait until everybody...
School board candidates.
This is the part where the stage flight comes in. Very good. Yes. On August 14th, all Lake County voters will have the opportunity to choose a representative to the Lake County School Board, District 1. Our school district has a budget of over $528 million next year. Think of the school district as a corporation with over 5,000 employees, feeds more people, spends more money on maintenance, uses more fuel than any other business in Lake County. Its sole mission is to educate our children, and at the end of the day, we're a B-rated school district and ranked 35th out of 67 counties. It's time for a business approach. If you elect Bill Mathias, you are saying the $500 million bond debt must be aggressively reduced. $30 million or $800 per child is required to service the debt each year. This money could be used to fund the best and brightest teachers for our children. We must be an A-rated school district. If we're going to have a vibrant and stable economy in Lake County, our school district rating plays a major part in the decision whether a company opens or expands here. I support career tech programs and career academies. They are essential to graduate students with the life skills to find employment and attract industry. I support a policy that seeks more involvement from parents and the business community in drafting policy that affects our children. 30 years ago, I started my organization, Mathias Food Service Equipment Company, with only $5,000. Today, we're internationally known for our design and procurement services, and I have successfully weathered 4 recessions based on my strong fiscal conservative leadership and our simple mission statement, integrity of person. I've served a combined 20 years in the private and public school sectors with a track record of making a positive difference. I have the governance experience to be immediately effective as your board member. I'm a United States veteran. I have a business degree and a master's. Thank you. Mr. Nussbaumer.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. My name is Jimmie Nussbaumer, and I was born and raised here in Lake County in Groveland. I'm running for School Board District 1, which is Groveland, Mascot, Mineola, and outskirts of Claremont. Claremont's kind of taking its own control down there. I spent thousands of hours in the last 9 years volunteering in the Lake County schools directly with my children. I have 3 beautiful children. 2 of my older daughters have gone through Lake County schools. My son's in middle school. And the time that I found with school advisory councils and being directly involved is that I understand how the policies and procedures at Lake County School Board directly affect the ability for our students to get an education. I understand where our principals and our administrators struggle and where our teachers struggle with their efforts to push forward. I believe that one of our big issues is that our principals are promoted from teachers into principalship, and they're not given the tools that they need to be great business leaders. I believe that they need a better education on how to run a business, because when they're promoted into principals, we have some schools that have a $500,000 discretionary budget. They have 130 or some odd employees and 1,500 students to educate, with not the skills to understand how to build budgets and how to run a business and how to deal with employees. I believe that that's a huge problem that we have today with managing our money and where our money's going, because when you ask them, they just say, well, we did what we did last year, or what we've done before. So I believe that's a huge problem with our finances and the ability to educate our students. I've served on many boards in Lake County. I'm on the Lake County Youth and Agricultural Fair board. I've served on the Lake County Cattlemen's Association. With those boards, I've learned how to work with other board directors and not just come out and be objective to what they do, but to try to understand and try to promote them into understanding where I'm coming from and how we can work together instead of having different views and just not getting anywhere. Yes, no, yes, no. So I believe my ability of working togetherness will bring our board together closer and stronger. What does go quick? Thank you all for your time. If you have any questions, just see me in the back.
2 minutes to 5 minutes. Ms. Brandeburg.
Good afternoon. My name is Rosanne Brandeburg, and I thank you all for being here today and giving us this opportunity. I was elected in November 2008, where my focus was, I believe every child deserves the best education, and it's our responsibility to make this happen. This is my focus still today. I have a master's degree in business administration from Lowe University and a bachelor's degree in public relations from the University of Florida. I completed over 96 hours to become a certified school board member 16 months after I was elected. I was one of only 4 school board members who were elected in 2008 in the entire state of Florida to receive this designation. You might say, well, why was that important to you? Well, once you become a school board member, there's so much for us to learn. We need to learn about policy making, decision making, collective bargaining issues for both the teachers union and the service employees union, financials, and so much more. I have spent the past 11 years as Executive Director of the Foundation for Lake Sumter Community College. I have a son, Tyler, who is a senior at Leesburg High School. When Tyler started elementary school at the Villages Elementary of Lady Lake, I became an involved parent. I joined the parent-teacher organization and the school advisory committee, where I served for 6 years, and I was PTO president for 2. He moved on to Carver Middle School. I became involved again. I was on the PTO for all 3 years, president for 2, and school advisory committee for all 3. He's been at Leesburg High School, and guess what? I've been on the school advisory committee for the past 3 years, and I'll be on it again this year. You've heard a lot about our financials, and I am here to share with you that when I started 4 years ago, that we had a $617 million budget. Today it's down to $529 million, and we've added 2 new schools. We continue to do more with much less. We balance our budget, and we will continue to do so. My name is Rosanne Brandeburg. I was honored to be elected 4 years ago, and I ask you to please allow me to serve another 4 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am Jim Miller. I'm the guy with the pencil. You may have seen a few signs out there. I got a bunch of free ones back there. They're number 2 yellow. It's for District 2, so it works out real well. If you look at this brochure, you'll see on the front side that I have a very strong business background, the retail grocery business, and then also in commercial real estate. Look at the other side, you see I'm really dedicated to kids. I've spent the last 20, 30 years working with kids, mentoring, coaching, Boys and Girls Club, on and on. And recently, 2 years ago, you put me on the school board and for District 1. I've resigned from that seat. I'm now in the Leesburg district to redistricting. Now, I've lived in Leesburg since I moved here in '77, so I'm not exactly a carpetbagger. Some of you know what that is, right? Anyway, and I just feel it's time for me to be the Leesburg member. And part of that is because I've been on the wrong end of a 3-2 vote many, many times. And if I can change things, then I'll be on the right end of a 3-2 vote. One of those issues has been uniform dress. How many people here are for uniform dress? Quite a few. I appreciate that. Osceola County did it over 3 years ago. At that time, they had 9 high schools. They had 6 D high schools at that time. In 3 years' time, their high school grades are now 8 A's and 2 B's. Made a huge difference. Didn't make them smarter. They did other things besides uniforms, but it changed the culture of the school. And one thing you hear about Leesburg High School over and over again is that they would have been an A or a B, except for the lower quartile. If Osceola, with 8 A's and 2 B's, do they have any lower quartile issues? I don't think so. What it does is enable all kids to succeed, all kids to feel like they're part of the system. And they're there to work, not to move around. My name is Jim Miller, and I want to be school board member District 2. Thank you.
Good afternoon. And I'm one of those ministers that he talked about giving the microphone for 2 minutes. It just won't work. But anyway, on the back of my brochure, it says, it gives my characteristics. It says experience, knowledgeable,
Pernell,
leader,
Mitchell.
strong decision maker, 20-year public servant. So, and with that, those are not just campaign cliches. That is my resume. So I am the only candidate that's running in the school board races that has any managerial experience working directly with Lake County School District. So I have worked over 20 years within our school district, either as with the Leesburg police department or as the security services manager for Lake County schools. So I have that experience. So the policies and procedures that these guys are talking about, so I am the guy who drafted those policies and procedures. So I'm the one who drafted budgets. So when I started with the Lake County School District as the security services manager, I had a whopping budget of $0. So within my first year, I was able to find $1 million within our current budget to do single point of entry for all of Lake County schools. That means that when someone comes onto our school campuses, they have to walk directly past an adult before they meet up with our students. So I'm the guy who has that experience. So with my family, my lovely wife is in the back, but we have 7 kids. My claim to fame, in 1994, my wife and I had 2 sets of twins. So all of our kids have either graduated from Leesburg High School and gone on and graduated from college. My last 2 are Leesburg High School seniors this year. So when we talk about, Mr. Connor mentioned that we need jobs in Lake County. Well, if we're going to have jobs in Lake County, guess what? The company is not going to come here unless they know that they have the workforce. So we are doing a great job in preparing students for college. I think Lake County missed out on the vocational training and getting that 70% that's not going to college. So I am a strong advocate for vocational training. So because we know that when we have good schools, it's good for our local businesses, it's good for the economy. So in order to do that, we have to work with our students. That low percentile that Mr. Miller mentioned has almost been totally ignored by our previous boards. So we have to make sure that if we're going to have quality jobs, quality school system, that we have to work with that low percentile. I told you 2 minutes was not going to be enough time.
It's tough. Thank you. Mr. Lowe? Hi.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for the opportunity to invite me here. My name is Thuy Lowe. I am running for Lake County School Board District 4. I am married. I have 2 sons who both attend Mount Dora High School. I was born in Vietnam, and my family became political refugee in 1975. Our family was airlifted from Saigon on the last day, and we were dropped off on the USS Midway. And we have become a permanent resident here in the state of Florida for the last 35 years. I grew up in Orlando. I graduated from UCF with a bachelor's in business marketing. And I used to own and operated a ground transportation service, provided non-emergency medical transportation to the residents of Orange, Osceola, and Seminole counties. Today, I am very fortunate to be a full-time mom, and I have been very involved in our public education system for the last 9 years. And being so involved in our education system, I've got an opportunity to work with administrators, teachers, parents, students, and the community. I do understand how our schools are operated and the challenges that our school district do face. And beyond the state and the budget cuts, our school district is a burden with $500 million in debt. Our employee morale is at all-time low, and we continue to promote and educate graduate students who can't read, write, and do basic arithmetic. The evidence comes from local businesses who hire our students, and also comes from the recent ASCAT rights course. So I believe that at the center of these issues, the fact that our school district is faced with the lack of leadership, and leadership that can consistently enforce policy across the school district. I have information about my candidacy in the back, and I am looking forward to talking to every single one of you, and I hope that you will give me an opportunity, vote for me on August 14th, because together we can prepare our students for the future. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, and it's great to be back here. I'm sure some of you remember me. I've been coming here since about 1996. I was either with a candidate helping, or I was a candidate. I was a prior county commissioner, and I've been on the school board for the last 4 years. I am an AARP member, so I am old enough, unfortunately. I have been endorsed by the Lake County Education Association and by the Florida Education Association, and by our local home builders associations for Lake and Sumter counties. I want to introduce, I have a flyer back there that really gives you basically all the things I've been involved with. I have 4 children who are grown 36 to 20. They all went through the public school system in Tiberias High School. 2 have gone on to college. 1 is a mom with 3 kids staying home, teaching them at home. And my son is a welder here in Leesburg, so he stayed locally, so I'm definitely for career academies. The flyer will tell you all the background that I've had because I, like my opponents, have been involved in the school system as I graduated from Tiberias High School myself and attended Lake Sumter. I would like to introduce my father who's sitting back, Leo Vaughn. He's a 30-year veteran of the World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. He was also a police officer and the mayor of the city of Tiberias for a number of years. Sitting next to him is my wonderful mom, who's a retired teacher for the Lake County School System, Geneva. What I'm running, why I want to go back in, I've got so many projects that we have started over the last 4 years, and my fellow board members that have spoken before have given you some of the data that we have. And in 2 minutes, I can't give you a lot of that data. So what they've said is correct, and we're moving forward. We started a health and wellness center for our employees, which has already saved us over $1 million in 1 year with 1 center. That was the thing that I pushed when I got there. I'm also working with the nonprofits and the faith-based organizations with our homeless children. We have over 3,000 in our school system, and with our lower quartile. And I need your vote on August 14th, please, so that I can finish these projects. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate the candidates keeping to the 2-minute time limit.